I think multi-sport athletes, I'm a big fan. I played soccer in high school. I was a cheerleader in high school. I did dance. I did obviously softball. I am for it. I think the overall athleticism, that is a lost art.
Welcome back to this week's recruiting segment of the Significant Coaching Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Rogers, and today you'll hear part 2 of my conversation with NCAA Division I head coach Gina Oaks Garcia of Cal State Fullerton softball. Gina's journey is remarkable. She's coached at the NAI, D3, D2, and now D1 level, and she was recently named Big West Coach of the Year in her very first season as Fullerton's head coach. Add that to multiple Coach of the Year honors during her time at Claremont Mudd Scripps, and you'll understand why she's one of the most respected voices in college softball and one of the best recruiters. Today, she shares exactly what stands out in the recruiting process, what she's looking for in her future Titans roster, including her thoughts on multi-sport athletes. And if you're looking for tools to help you navigate your own journey or want to bring me in to speak with your team or school, please visit CoachMattRogers.com to explore my books, online courses, and strategy sessions. All right, here's part 2 of my conversation with Coach G, Gina Oaks Garcia. Welcome back, everybody, to Significant Recruiting. I've got the great Coach G, Gina Oaks Garcia, with us. Coach, we had a great conversation on coaching, and I love your perspective on how you build program and how you're building your culture. I want to dive into recruiting with you. Let's talk about starting with finding that right kid for your culture.
Yeah, I kind of alluded to this in the other segment, but I'm big on energy and enthusiasm, right? So when I'm recruiting athletes, I'm looking out there, like who looks like they just love to play, love the game, right? Because, failure is going to happen. But when you see a kid that's out there, that's smiling, that's talking to their teammates, that are giving them high fives, that are hyping each other up, you can tell who really is a good teammate. And I'm really big on that. I think that I was really big in a locker room. I think it's big for our culture. I really think it brings for when you're at the college level and you're training every day. And if you can have that energy that stays pretty consistent, more on the upward trend, it makes all practices way better, right? Some days they're just a little off, and that's just part of it. But for the majority of the practices, when you can recruit kids that just naturally have that love for the game, of course, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, after a game, how are they interacting with their parents? I do look at that. Like, are they just right to their phone and not connecting? Then I'm like, man, where's the engagement? There's a lot of things where and that's this day and age. I mean, even my own kids, I'm like, you're getting sucked into the dark hole. Like, please stop. No more. There's so much more to life than just, in front of a screen. And so I look for that. Are they kind of having conversations with people outside? And so, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, right? Are they hustling even in pregame? Are if they miss a ball, are they like, hey, hit me another one? Or they just walk back to the end of the line? I mean, there's a lot of little things that you can tell how they would be, I think, at the next level just by the mannerisms of different things. So I'm all eyes when I'm recruiting, that's for sure.
I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but we were supposed to have our conversation last week, and you called me and you were so excited about this picture you were bringing up. And I don't think the non-coaches out there understand how excited we get.
Yes.
This kid that we really love is coming to visit our campus.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Christmas morning every time we get a great recruitment camp. Am I wrong with that?
No, you are so right. But unfortunately, the night before, wee hours in the night, she committed elsewhere, which doesn't happen. And that is, we're talking about recruiting. And that was what happened. It's all good. It was a better fit for her and what she felt like for her family. And at the end of the day, you as a coach, you want that. You never want somebody that's going to be in your program that's second guessing or what if this, what if that. And so, you know what, I'm happy that that's the route they decided to go because that's what they felt was best for them. And that's when you have to just go, okay, on to the next. That is our job. That is what we do. And that's why you have to have your pipeline of kids that are interested in your school, and it's all good.
Yeah. And with the portal now and the way transferring works, that kid could be giving you a call in 12 months.
Yep.
Right?
Definitely could be. Yep.
Yeah. Do you and I'm asking you the question that I know you already know the answer to this, but do you find that there are coaches that are handling this the wrong way and they're, without knowing it, they're burning a bridge on a kid that could come back around?
Yeah, I think when I hear those stories, I can't relate. I'm just like, how like these are transformative, powerful years of their life, and if they are not able to go check things out, I mean, I would never do that to a student athlete. I want them to know when they are committing to Cal State Fullerton, it's because they've done their research on us, they've done their research on other institutions, and they feel that we are the best fit for them. And that way, then the buy-in starts all right. But if you're kind of one of those that are putting stipulations or timelines or this, now, do we have to say, listen, otherwise we have to move elsewhere? Of course, there's different lingo that you have to, because otherwise you can't just put all your eggs in one basket and then just hope for the best. That's not how this
That's
business.
right.
There is that part of it, and so you do have to be transparent with that. But overall, I want them to know that it's okay to figure out what's best for them and go the research they needed and the visits they need to do. But yeah, I just think that's part of it. But I can't relate to people that maybe say, I need to know right now. That's just not our style for sure.
One of my kids basically got criticized after she said she was going somewhere else from a coach. And I was like, what? The coach got mad at her, and I'm like, that just tells you, I told the kid, that just tells you that you're making the right decision, right? If they're not supporting you in your life and how hard these decisions are for you, then they're in the wrong business. Has the portal changed the way you coach? For me, it was always, I'm going to bring in 70, 80% freshmen. I want to develop them for 4 years. I want to teach them my way. I don't want to have to break bad habits or something that they learn somewhere else. And then we'll bring in a transfer or two where we need it. Has the portal changed your thoughts on that at all?
Yeah, portal's definitely changed, I think, a lot of the recruiting, right? There's really some upsides to developing a kid after their senior year of high school and knowing that there's the build up time for sure to get them ready for, Cal State Fullerton softball. But then, there is the portal kids that come in, have a year under their belt, have that experiences and games and innings or whatever it is, that position that you're looking for. And then you're wow, okay, they're already seasoned, if you will. If we need to go that route, then that is just part of it. I would say we definitely do a little of both. We have, I think 8 incoming freshmen this year, and then
Wow.
the transfer portal. So we do have quite a few freshmen coming in, which I'm excited about, and just that next wave of future Titan ballers there. But we definitely look at the portal too. I think D1 institution is doing that, and sometimes if we can feel like we can benefit from a kid that has already have experience, and we're going to go for it.
Yeah. They know what the weight room looks like. They know the travel looks like, and being a student athlete looks like. It's hard to say no to that. Yeah. Talk a little bit about what's happening in your athletic department meetings with your AD and maybe the president, maybe your VP, about the NCAA changes with roster cap and scholarship. Kind of explain how you guys are attacking that and how your conference is attacking that change. And is it good or bad for you?
I think they don't really say too much in our meetings yet, because I think they're all still trying to figure out
Right.
what this looks like, right? The landscape, the roster cap now of 25 for softball, and now there's this designated list, is important to have, because if there was this institution that had a lot of people on their roster, to just cut them, it just doesn't seem right either. And so I think there's going to be over time where we get down to that 25-man roster for sure. But in the meantime, I think NCAA put some stuff in place for that. But as
Good.
far as just NIL and different things like that, and that's all, and the health settlement, different things, I don't really share too much about that. So I'm just going to trust in whatever it is that they have put in front of us. But at the end of the day, our business is our business. We still got to recruit the athletes. We got to bring them in. And in my opinion, I am one of those that I like to evolve whatever is happening. Like, I want to stay competitive. We will stay competitive. So how do we stay ahead of the curve as much as possible, even though we are mid-major, not a Power 4. I'm at that point where I want to make whatever it is happen so that I keep players. I don't want to lose players. I don't want to develop players and then see them go elsewhere. So what does that look like on my end? Am I going to have to fundraise a little bit more? I don't know. Those are all things that are still, yet to be determined, but I'm willing to figure out. Otherwise, I don't want to not be a Big West champ and go to our postseason. That's not in the cards for tight softball. That's not in the cards for me. We're a winning program. We'll do whatever we can to keep it that way and do whatever it takes. And so I'm willing to what we need to do to make that happen and continue to make it happen.
With the change that the NCAA has made now, 25 roster cap, and you can scholarship up to that. What is your league driving that so there's balance, or is Fullerton driving what that scholarship number is going to look like going forward for you? Because you have to know that.
Yeah.
You're recruiting 27s and 28s. You have to know that.
There's definitely things in place, I believe, that our admin and our athletic director, Jim Donovan, is definitely looking into. And I know that we got great leadership with them and our president and our backing in that. But as far as a specific number of scholarships and this and that, that's yet to be determined for us. I know with the Big West, we really haven't had any of our meetings yet at all to really discuss that and where people are at with that. But ultimately, the schools that are going to try to be ahead of the game and raise that and elevate that are going to obviously start to get the better athletes because they don't want to have student debt. So, of course, we want to definitely get that number up and push forward with that as well to stay competitive. That's what we need to do.
Yeah. And I appreciate you being candid because I know how hard all this is and how hard of a question it is to answer. But I want families to understand that when you're recruiting them or another coach is recruiting them, there's so much uncertainty right now. They have to be patient because the coaches, we're so vulnerable. The athletic directors are so vulnerable right now trying to juggle all this.
Absolutely.
They've got to keep kids happy. They got to keep coaches happy. We've got to have that balance of competitions. There's a lot of answers, but the answers have created more questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes we don't have the answers yet. So it's just those things where we're just going to keep on keeping on and we'll do whatever we can. And once we have the systems in place and the blueprint down and ready to execute it, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah. I know you've got to run to another meeting. Quick piece of advice for a family going through the recruiting process. How should they go about it?
I think the recruiting process, you got to go about it with, again, sitting your child down and first researching, exploring on the internet, looking at the different institutions, being real with the skill set of my child. I think sometimes that is skewed a little bit. Maybe ask your travel ball coaches, what level do you see me at? You've been doing this for a long time. Like, where do you see? Because I think sometimes people, I'll be honest, I'll have some kids at junior year, senior year, and we do a lot of group pitching and different things. And sometimes they'll say, well, I really do want to look into Power 4. And I'm like, I feel like that might be where you miss that boat. And so you got to really be real with where their skill set is at. And then it's going to their camps, meeting the coaches, setting foot on the campus and seeing if it's a fit. Do you like the weather? Do you like being away from home? I mean, for me, that was a big factor. Like I have incredible parents, supported me all the way. I had grandparents that would come watch me play. I wanted to be far enough away from home to have my independence, but yet I could go home and that was big for me. I wanted them in the stands at every game. I wanted to be close to the beach, and my family has a cabin. And so for me, location was big. Southern California, I don't think it gets much better than that and all the things that we have to do in our area in LA and different places. But, you really have to sit them down and see what it is that they're looking for in that next chapter of their lives, because it's important, it's powerful, it's fun, it's all of this stuff. And so just be realistic with what they want and just do the research and start making those connections and going to the camps for sure.
Perfect. Real quick, I'm 16. I throw a 68-mile-an-hour fastball and I hit my spots. I dominate on my high school team, but I don't play club because I love playing basketball, love playing volleyball.
Email Coach G. I love that. I think multi-sport athletes, I'm a big fan. I played soccer in high school. I was a cheerleader in high school. I did dance. I did obviously softball. I am for it. I think the overall athleticism, that is a lost art. For some reason, we have just been like, we have to specialize. We have to specialize. And even me as a parent right now, I even start to feel the pressures of, oh my gosh, my daughter is going to do soccer in the fall. Is she going to then be behind in spring softball when she goes back for 10U? And even me as a D1 college coach, I feel, I'm like, no, like it's okay. I love that. I think, and even flag football, you see so many kids now playing flag football, and softball players probably dominate. Now, are there some times where you could get injured? Yes, but I don't like to think that way. I don't like to play that way. If you're a pitcher that can hit, by all means, I want you to hit, be able to slide, be athletic. You can do that all. You just have to train that way. And so
Right.
I'm okay with it. I feel like, yeah, if you're throwing 68 and you're in basketball and whatever, yeah, please email me. I'm good with that. You can do it all. And I love that.
Club coaches, parents, stop messaging me that your kid has to play club to get recruited. Okay. Be healthy, be a great athlete, be a great student. There's coaches out there that will still recruit you. Thank you, Coach G. You're awesome. Can't wait to see all you're going to do there.
Thank you so much. You're awesome too. Thanks, Matt.
What a fun conversation. Coach Gina Oaks Garcia gave us real insight into what college coaches are looking for beyond just stats and skill. From being honest in your communication to showing consistency in your habits, her advice is a reminder that recruiting is about character, culture, and commitment as much as it is about your talent. Gina's journey from All-American player to professional athlete to multi-time Coach of the Year across all levels of college softball is proof that the path to the top is built on relationships, learning, and doing things the right way. If today's episode helped you see the recruiting process more clearly, take a minute to like, share, and subscribe to the Significant Coaching Podcast. And don't forget to check out CoachMattRogers.com, where you'll find my book, Significant Recruiting, the Playbook for Prospective College Athletes, the Softball Recruits Journal, and my Launchpad course, all designed to help you take control of your recruiting journey. You can also schedule a one-on-one strategy session with me if you're looking for more personal guidance. Thanks for listening, and remember, significance always outlasts success. We'll see you next time.